Hello friends, welcome to IAS with Santosh. In this video, I am going to give you 2 marks in the upcoming prelims examination because in this video, I am going to give you one area where definitely one question is going to come in the UPSC prelims examination. Guys, this year something big has happened. India has surpassed China as world's largest population. This is a very big thing because now India has the world's largest workforce. So in this context, you can expect question on the topic of population. You can get question on the topic of population. So let me help you understand what are the dimensions of this topic where you can expect questions. So guys, first thing what they can ask you is they can ask you about some data. They can ask you question regarding some data, some facts. And here they can ask you comparison between India and China. So you should be aware of some of the various important facts related to this topic. Okay. The next topic which they can ask you is demographic dividend. Demographic dividend. You can get question on demographic dividend. I'm going to explain you this in this video. Okay. Next, what they can ask you? They can ask you about, okay, fertility rate. They can ask you questions on fertility rate. Let me just write it. Fertility rate. And in fertility rate, they can ask you about TFR, total fertility rate, and replacement level. Then they can ask you about population control schemes. Population control schemes. Then they can ask you questions on jobless growth and unemployment. So these are the areas where you can get questions from economy and from geography both. Guys, here I would like to request you that please go through the geography book. Please go through the geography book, human geography book. In that one chapter is called population. In that last 100 years, okay, how the population has increased in India, they have given in a graph. Please, okay, prepare that graph. Okay, so you can see here I have prepared two exciting cards, Optima cards on this topic. One is on India's population and other is on demographic dividend. So guys, as I told you that according to the United Nations Population Fund, UN Population Fund, this is also very important this year. Okay, India is now having one of the largest population in the world. Okay, 25% of the India's population is below the age of 14. 18% of them are in the age group of 10 to 19. 26% of them are in the age group of 10 to 24, and 68% of them are between 15 to 64. Just imagine, 68% of the population is between the age 15 to 64, which is the age of working age. And that is why we say that India is going through a demographic transition which is favorable for India's economic growth, because if this young working age population is fruitfully employed, then we will get economic growth, and that economic growth, because of this favorable demographic transition, will be called demographic dividend. So demographic dividend is what? Economic growth that can result from changing population age structure when the population experiences a significant increase in population of working age, okay, relative to the dependent population, then that is called demographic dividend. So it is the economic growth which comes because of high working age population. This is very important. Okay, so you can see here, okay, only 8% of the population is above the age of 65. Only 8%. And you compare this with China. In China, 17% of the population is below the age of 14, and 14% of the population is below the age of 65. Just imagine, China has double the percentage of India elderly population. China is now an aging country, whereas India is still a young country. Therefore, there is a high chance that India can increase its economic growth just because India's labor growth is very high. Okay, so this is very important. Therefore, we need jobs, we need economic growth, and for that, and that will create jobs, and that will lead to economic growth, more and more economic growth. This is called basically VCS on virtuous cycle. VCS cycle means, okay, you have huge population but you do not have jobs, so it leads to poverty. On the other hand, if you have huge population and you create jobs, then you will be able to alleviate poverty. Okay, so this is very important. Now India is the first, okay, largest population, then China second, the third is America. Okay, so you should know this, you should go through this data. Okay, now coming to this demographic dividend. So demographic dividend generally happens when the basically the fertility rate, the birth rate starts decreasing. Okay, then this demographic transition happens and which leads to demographic dividend. Here, since women are producing less number of children, so they are free to work outside, and they also lead to gender dividend. Okay, so please prepare this topic of demographic dividend. For demographic dividend to happen, we need three things. We need education, we need health, and we need jobs. Three things we need. Okay, so guys, there is something called, one more topic is there is something called replacement level. Okay, so TFR, total fertility rate, is the number of children born to a woman. Okay, so this, when it comes to 2.1, then it is called replacement rate. Replacement rate. Okay, so India's TFR has reduced below 2.1, particularly in the southern state, but in some of the eastern states like Bihar, UP, still this TFR is above 2.1. So there is a demographic divide in India, south versus north. Okay, this is also very important because this will decide the basically the migration pattern. Okay, so you need to know basics of everything. Okay, one more thing is that even though TFR at the national level is below 2.1, still population is going to increase till 2064. Till population is going to increase till 2064, when India's population will reach around 1.6, 1.7. Okay, 1.7. Why? Because there is a phenomenon called population momentum. There is a phenomenon called population momentum. Okay, you can see here India's population will surpass 1.5 billion people at the end of this decade and will continue to slowly increase to 20, okay, till 2064. Till 2064 our population is going to increase to 1.7 billion. Okay, our population is going to increase to 1.7 billion till 2064. This is because of a phenomenon called population momentum. There is a phenomenon called population momentum. Okay, so you can get question on population momentum also. Population momentum. Okay, so please do prepare all these aspects: demographic dividend, facts regarding population, population momentum, demographic transition, Malthus theory, okay, which says that okay, population will increase in geometric proportion, but food will increase only in arithmetic proportion. Okay, then you can prepare the schemes for population control. All these things are very, very important. So guys, okay, I can assure you definitely one question is going to come from this topic. Many of you are still saying, sir, how are you confident that these questions are going to come in the exam? Guys, you wait and watch. Okay, on 28th of this month you will get to know. Okay, that's why I have told you that please go through this, okay, cards, and please go through my important question series. Still 7-8 days are there, I think 9 days are there. Still you can solve my all FLTs. You'll get a lot of questions in the exam which can increase your marks by 10-15 marks. Thank you guys, bye bye, take care, God bless you.